Close your eyes now. If they're not already closed, that's fine. Let the weight of the day settle. Out of your shoulders, out of your hands. There's nothing left to hold. Tonight, you're going somewhere very old, somewhere beneath the world. A place the ancient Maya knew and named and honored. A country of deep stone and dark water, far below the roots of the jungle. You don't need to be afraid. The road you'll walk tonight is quiet. It has been quiet for a very long time. All you need to do is breathe. In, slowly. And out, slower still. The journey begins above ground, in the warm dark of a jungle at night. You're standing at the edge of a clearing, the Yucátán. The night is enormous around you. The sky above the canopy is thick with stars, not the thin scattering you know from cities and roads, something else entirely. A dense river of them, white and silver and faintly blue, poured across the blackness from one horizon to the other. The ancient people who lived here watched this same sky. They mapped it. They found roads in it. The air is warm and soft against your skin. It smells of green things, of broad wet leaves, of flowering vines, of rich dark soil that has never once been dry. Somewhere far off, rain fell earlier tonight. The whole jungle still remembers it. Cicadas are singing in the trees, thousands of them layered together, one vast, steady sound, so constant that after a moment you stop hearing it as sound at all. It becomes something more like silence, a silence with texture, a silence that breathes. You breathe with it. Beneath your feet, the ground is packed earth, cool and firm. A path runs ahead through the clearing, pale in the starlight. It has been walked for centuries. You can feel that in the way the earth has been pressed smooth, generation after generation of quiet footsteps, all going the same way. The path leads to a cenote. You know this word, or you will know it now, the way you know things in dreams. A cenote is a sacred well, a round opening in the limestone floor of the world. The stone has gently given way and revealed the water underneath. The whole peninsula rests on stone, stone like honeycomb, riddled with caves and rivers and silence. The cenotes are its open eyes. The ancient Maya knew these openings led downward, down past the roots, down past the reach of daylight, down, eventually, to Xibalba, the world below the world. 9 levels of stillness, one beneath the other, going down and down into the oldest dark there is. Tonight, the way is open. Tonight, the way is peaceful. You begin to walk. The path is soft beneath your feet. Your steps make almost no sound. On either side of you, the jungle rises, dark and tall, like a corridor of living things, all of them at rest. Great ceiba trees stand among the others. Their trunks are pale in the starlight. Their branches spread high overhead. The Maya called the ceiba yakshe, the world tree. Its crown holds up the heavens. Its roots reach all the way down, down to where you're going. You pass close to one now. You let your fingers trail across its bark, smooth in places, studded in others. Cool with the night, there is a steadiness in it, a patience. This tree connects everything, the stars above, the soil below, and all the sleeping layers underneath the soil. You will follow its roots down, in a way. That is the whole journey, following the roots of the world, down to where they rest. The cicadas grow softer as you walk, or perhaps you are sinking deeper into their sound. A night bird calls once, far away. It does not call again. The warm air moves gently across your face. It carries the smell of white flowers, flowers that only open in darkness. Every step is easier than the last. Ahead, the trees open. You see it. The cenote lies in a wide clearing, pale limestone, stone-rimmed, still. a great circle of darkness in the earth. It is perhaps 50 paces across. Its rim is smooth, rounded by ages of rain. Starlight lies along that rim, a thin silver thread. You walk to the edge slowly. You look down. The water is far below, 10 times your height, maybe more, and it is utterly still, a perfect black mirror. At the bottom of a pale stone throat, the stars are reflected in it. When you lean over the rim, you can see the whole sky again. It lies quietly at the bottom of the well, as if the heavens had come down here to rest before you did. The air rising from the cenote is cooler than the jungle air. It touches your face gently, like the breath of the earth itself. Cool, mineral, clean. It smells of wet limestone, of deep water, of a place where nothing has hurried in 10,000 years. Roots hang down the inner walls. Long dark ropes reaching from the trees above toward the water below. They have been reaching like that for centuries. Small ferns grow from cracks in the stone. Drops of moisture gather on their fronds, and now and then a single drop falls all the way down. It touches the black mirror with the smallest possible sound. Plink. The ripple spreads outward in a slow silver ring, wider and wider, until the stars in the water tremble gently, and then the mirror is still again. You stand there a while at the rim, breathing the cool air as it rises to meet you, the air of the underworld coming up slow. There is a stair. It is cut into the wall of the cenote itself, a narrow flight of steps. They are worn shallow and smooth by ancient feet. They spiral gently downward along the curve of the stone. The people who made them are long gone. The stair remains, patient, as everything here is patient. You place your foot on the first step. The stone is cool, cooler than the jungle floor. It feels wonderful, somehow, that coolness rising up through you, like the first sip of water on a hot day, but slower, and everywhere at once. You descend, one step, then another. Your hand rests against the limestone wall as you go. The wall is damp and smooth beneath your palm. With every step downward, the sounds of the jungle grow softer above you. The cicadas fade to a distant shimmer. The warm air of the night stays behind. Up there, with the trees and the stars, the cool air of the deep world wraps around you instead, down and down. The starlight follows you part way, silvering the wall beside you. The hanging roots brush past your shoulder, soft as old rope. Somewhere below, another drop of water falls. It falls from a fern and touches the pool. Plink. The sound is closer now. You are not climbing down into danger. You can feel that with every step. You are climbing down into shelter, the way a seed goes into the ground, the way rain goes into the earth. Downward is the direction of rest tonight. Downward is the way home. The stair ends at a broad ledge of stone, just above the water. The ledge is flat and smooth, shaped long ago into a gentle platform. You stand on it and look out, across the black mirror of the pool. From here, the water does not look black at all. It looks deep. There is a difference. Blackness is empty. This is full of stillness, full of years, full of the slow patience of water, water that has been filtering through limestone for so long, before anyone had words for it. Far down in that depth, you think you can see something, the faintest trace of light, a soft blue-white glimmer, very far below, like a star that fell long ago and is still glowing quietly where it landed. That glimmer is where you are going. You sit down on the edge of the stone. You let your feet rest in the water. It is cool, but not cold. It is exactly the temperature of relief. You feel it around your ankles, like two gentle hands. The tension you didn't know you were still carrying begins to loosen. It drifts away, dissolving into the pool, like a little cloud of silt, settling, gone. You breathe in the smell of the deep water, stone and rain and time, and then gently, without any effort at all, you let yourself slip forward, off the ledge, into the cenote. The water receives you. There is no shock of cold, no gasp, only a soft, cool enfolding, as if the pool had been waiting, as if it had made itself ready. You float for a moment on the surface, on your back, looking up. Above you, the mouth of the cenote is a perfect circle, a circle of night sky, ringed by the dark rim of stone. Hanging silhouettes of roots frame it. The stars fill the circle. From down here, they seem even brighter, framed by the darkness, like a round window into heaven. Cut in the ceiling of the earth, you watch them for a while, rising and falling, very gently, with your own breath. The water holds you, without any effort on your part at all. In this water, you discover you can breathe. It's that kind of journey. The rules of the deep world are kind tonight. The water carries air within it, the way it carries light, gently, generously. It asks nothing of you. So when you're ready, only when you're ready, you let the breath ease out. You begin to sink, slowly, so slowly. The surface closes over you, a sound like a sigh. The circle of stars above you softens and blurs. It becomes a trembling disk of silver light. You drift downward through the cool, dark water, feet first, arms loose at your sides. The silver disk grows smaller above you, gentler. The blue-white glimmer below you grows nearer and kinder. The water grows quieter as you sink. It wasn't loud before, but there are layers of quiet. You're learning that now. Each layer is deeper than the last. Near the surface, the quiet still remembered the jungle. Down here, the quiet remembers only stone. Your ears fill with a soft, low hush. The sound of deep water. It is the sound of your own blood moving, or the sound of the earth's blood moving. Down here, it's hard to tell the difference, and it does not matter. Down and down and down. The walls of the cenote widen around you. They open outward into darkness. You realize the pool is not a pool at all. It is a doorway. Beneath the round well lies a vast flooded cavern. Beneath the cavern, passages. Beneath the passages, rivers. The whole hidden circulation of the underworld. All of it moving with immense slowness through the body of the stone. The blue-white light is all around you now. It comes from the water itself, or from something living in the water, countless motes of soft light, drifting like slow snow, each one glowing faintly. Together they fill the cavern, a light like moonlight, moonlight that has learned to be gentler. It does not glare, it does not flicker. It simply glows, steady and dim and blue, showing you the shapes of the deep world without ever disturbing the darkness. By this light you see the cavern floor rising, pale sand, smooth stone, the scattered round shapes of boulders furred with pale bloom. Your feet touch down on the sand. As lightly as a leaf touching a pond, you are standing at the bottom of the cenote, at the top of the world below the world. And ahead of you, through a wide arch of limestone, the water is moving, slowly, patiently, in one direction, a river, an underground river, flowing away into the glowing dark. The current touches you, soft as breath, tugging at you the way sleep tugs at you. At the end of a long day, not demanding, only inviting, you let it take you. You lie back into the current. The river gathers you up. This is the oldest kind of travel. No steps to take. No way to lose. The water knows the road. It has been running this same course through limestone, longer than there have been names for anything. It carries you now, the way it has carried leaves and petals and slow drifting silt for 100,000 years, easily, evenly, without hurry. You float on your back. The water holds every part of you at once. Your head, your shoulders, the small of your back, your heels. Nothing is left unsupported. Nothing has to work. You drift and breathe. Above you, the ceiling slides past. It is lit by a drifting blue and white glow. Beautiful, in a way you did not expect. The limestone hangs in soft folds, in curtains, like fabric frozen mid-fall. Stalactites descend from the dark, like slow pale icicles of stone. Each one built, drop by drop, over spans of time you cannot hold. You do not need to hold them, you only need to drift beneath them. Watch them pass. Drops of water gather at their tips. Now and then one falls, somewhere ahead or behind. The sound reaches you through the hush, plink. And then a long while later, from farther away, plink. Each drop has been traveling through stone for years. It filtered down from the jungle floor, through root and rock, gathering minerals, gathering slowness. Each one ends its long journey with that single small note. It becomes part of the river. It rests. You are doing the same thing, in your way, filtering down, growing slower, heading for the place where everything finally rests. The passage widens, narrows, widens again. Sometimes the ceiling rises so high above you, the blue glow cannot reach it. You drift beneath the darkness, soft and total, like the space between stars. Sometimes it comes down low and close, near enough that you could reach up and touch the wet stone. Once you do, letting your fingertips trail along it as you pass, cool, smooth, slick with mineral water, like the inside of a shell. The smell down here is extraordinary. You would not have thought darkness could smell so clean. Wet limestone, cold water, the faint sweetness of minerals, the smell of the inside of the earth, unchanged and unchanging. Every breath of it slows your heart a little more. The current turns you gently as it goes. You drift sometimes feet first, sometimes sideways, revolving with immense slowness, like a compass needle that has stopped needing north. There is nothing to steer toward. There is nothing to avoid. The river makes every decision. Every decision it makes is soft. Your thoughts begin to loosen. They drift apart, the way the glowing motes drift in the water around you. A thought arises, something from the daylight world, some small, unfinished thing. Before it can take hold, the current carries it away. You watch it glow faintly. It dims, it dissolves. Another breath, another slow turning. Plink, says the darkness, far ahead. The river carries you on. You do not know how long you drift. Time moves differently in the veins of the earth. It may be minutes, it may be hours. Down here, the difference is very small, very unimportant. At some point, gradually, gently, you become aware the river is slowing. The passage has opened into a great chamber. It is wider than any you have passed through. The water spreads across it. It grows shallow and calm. The blue-white glow gathers thickly here. It pools in the water like starlight in a bowl. By its light, you see a shore ahead. A long, gentle slope, pale sand, rising out of the river. The current sets you down upon it, as carefully as a mother laying down a sleeping child. You lie there, on the wet sand, half in the water, half out. You feel the last of the current stroke past your legs. Then, slowly, you rise. The water runs from you. It returns to the river. The air of the chamber is cool on your skin. You are not cold. The deep world does not allow that. Not tonight. Its coolness is the coolness of clean sheets, of the shadowed side of a pillow, coolness as comfort, and nothing else. You stand on the sand. You look at what lies before you. The chamber is vast. Its ceiling is lost in soft darkness far overhead. Its floor is smooth, pale stone, swept clean by ages of slow water. It glows faintly with a blue-white light, the same light that fills the river, as if the stone itself remembered light, as if it was quietly dreaming of it. And there, in the center of the chamber, the roads meet. You see them clearly. They are laid into the floor with ancient care, 4 roads coming together at a single point, each one paved with a different stone. One road is white, pale limestone, luminous in the dimness. It runs away toward one dark quarter of the chamber. One road is red, a deep, warm red, like cinnabar, like the last color of a sunset, remembered underground. One road is yellow, soft gold, the color of dry corn, of pollen, of afternoon light, preserved in stone. And one road is black. Black as obsidian, black as the still water at the bottom of the cenote. It runs away from the crossroads in a long straight line. It gleams faintly. Where the other 3 roads run level, the black road slopes downward, gently, steadily, into the deeper dark. You know this crossroads. Something very old in you knows it. This is where the 4 roads of the world meet, where they have always met. This is where every traveler to Xibalba has stood at the beginning of the descent. Long ago, long ago, 2 brothers stood here, Hunahpu and Expelange, the hero twins, the great wayfarers of the old stories. They came down through the earth. They stood at this crossing. The black road spoke to them. They followed it down into Xibalba. This was in the days when the underworld was loud, loud with lords and trials and games. Those days are over. The trials are finished. The stories have all been told, told again, carved in stone. The stone has gone quiet. What remains is the road. You walk to the center of the crossroads. You stand at the meeting point of the 4 colors. You feel the stillness of the place gather around you like deep water. For a moment, you look down each road in turn. The white road glimmers away into the dark. It is clean and pale. The red road glows faintly warm, like an ember, hours after the fire. The yellow road lies soft and golden, quiet as a field at dusk. They are beautiful roads, all of them, but they are not yours tonight. Yours is the black road, the road that goes down. In the old language, they say the black road once had a voice. Travelers at this crossing would hear it speak. It offered itself. It said, "I am the way, take me." Tonight it does not speak. It doesn't need to. Its invitation is written in its gentle slope, written in its smooth dark stone, written in the soft cool air that rises from below, air that smells of jade and water and rest. The black road no longer says take me. It simply waits, the way a toned down bed waits, certain of you. You step onto it. The stone is smooth beneath your feet, smoother than the chamber floor. It is polished by the passage of the ancient dead, by the ancient living, by everyone in between. The coolness rises up through you, slowly, a long, pleasant wave. It loosens your knees, your hips, your spine, one after another, like knots being patiently untied. You begin to walk downward. The black road descends in a long, easy grade, never steep, never sudden. It knows that its travelers are tired. It was built for tired travelers. That is the whole purpose of a road into the earth. Each step down is a small relief. The relief accumulates, step by step, like coins dropped one by one into deep water, drifting down, settling into the soft, dark silt of you. The walls of the passage draw in around the road, close but not confining. The closeness of a blanket, not a cage. The blue-white glow travels with you. It seeps from thin veins of luminous mineral in the stone, and by its light you begin to notice something. The walls are carved, not everywhere, not loudly, but here and there. As you descend, the limestone bears the marks of ancient hands, long flowing glyphs in low relief, softened by moisture and centuries, faces in profile, sloping brows, heavy-lidded, peaceful eyes, spirals, steps, the long body of a serpent running beside the road for 100 paces, then it dissolves, gently, back into plain stone. You do not need to read them. They were never meant for reading, exactly. They were meant for company. The carvers knew this road was long. They left these figures along it. The way you might leave a lamp burning in a hallway for someone coming home late. The carved faces watch you pass. Their eyes are patient, half closed. There is nothing in their gaze but welcome. Down and down. Water runs somewhere behind the walls. You can hear it. A low, continuous whisper inside the stone. The underground rivers going about their endless slow business. Now and then, a thread of it emerges. It slides down a groove in the wall. It catches the blue light. Then it disappears again into a crack at the floor's edge. The whole mountain above you is alive with quiet water. None of it is in a hurry. Neither are you. Your breathing has slowed to match your steps. In for 3 slow paces. Out for 4. You did not decide to breathe this way. The road decided it for you, with its gentle rhythm, its even slope, its endless patient turning into the dark. Ahead, the passage opens. The black road runs out through a tall doorway, a great trapezoid of worked stone, wider at the base than at the top, the old Maya way. Beyond the doorway, the darkness changes. It grows larger, softer, faintly green. You pass through the doorway. You enter the first level of Xibalba. You stop. You have to stop. The space before you asks to be seen. It asks very quietly. You are standing at the edge of a cavern. It is so wide that its far walls are only a suggestion, a deeper softness in the dimness, a horizon of stone. The floor stretches away from you. It is obsidian, actual obsidian, vast fitted panes of volcanic glass, black and gleaming, laid together so perfectly that the seams are only hairlines of shadow. The floor reflects everything above it, dimly, like a lake of dark ice. The whole cavern seems to hover over a second cavern, inverted, dreaming, just beneath the surface, and scattered across that black mirror floor, glowing, are the pools, dozens of them, round pools of still water set into the obsidian. Each one shines with a soft jade-green light. The light rises from somewhere in its depths, bioluminescence perhaps, or mineral glow, or something older than either, something that was shining here, before the words for shining existed. The pools cast their green light gently upward. The light lies along the underside of the distant ceiling. It moves in slow, wavering ripples. The whole roof moves, like the surface of the sea. You are seeing it from below. Jade light on obsidian, green on black, life color resting on darkness color. Everywhere you look, perfectly balanced, perfectly still. The air here is cooler than the road above. It is absolutely motionless. When you breathe in, you taste stone and water. You taste a faint green sweetness, like the smell of rain on leaves. A place remembers it. That place has never seen leaves. When you breathe out, your breath makes no sound. The quiet of this level is complete. Complete except for one thing. Somewhere in the vast dark, water is dripping. Plink. A long silence. Plink. Each drop falls into a jade pool. The green light trembles. A soft ring of brightness spreads across the surface, sliding outward, fading. The reflected ripples stir across the ceiling far above. They slowly settle. The whole level breathes with it. Drop, ripple, glow, stillness, drop, ripple, glow, stillness. It is the heartbeat of the first level of Xibalba, and it is very, very slow. You begin to walk out across the obsidian floor. Your reflection walks beneath you. It is dim and soft-edged, upside down in the black glass, a quiet companion, keeping pace. The obsidian is cool beneath your feet, impossibly smooth. Your steps make only the faintest sound, a soft touch. Touch, touch. The great cavern absorbs it, smooths it away, the way the pools absorb the falling drops. You pass close to one of the jade pools. You pause beside it. You look down. The green light rises up over your face. It is like the light through deep water. The pool is perhaps as wide as your outstretched arms. Its rim is a low ring of carved stone, worn round and soft. In its depths the glow gathers and drifts, slow clouds of light, brightening and dimming. A rhythm like sleep, like the breathing of something enormous and content, far below, dreaming its long dream, lighting the water from within. You watch the glow breathe, bright, dim, bright, dim. Your own breathing slows to match it. You don't decide this, it simply happens. The way your breath matches the breath of someone sleeping beside you. Bright, and you breathe in. Dim, and you breathe out. The pool teaches you its rhythm. Without a single word, you accept the lesson gratefully. Standing in the green light, your shoulders loosen. Your hands go soft at your sides. There is no reason to hurry from this pool. No reason to hurry anywhere, ever again. The first level of Xibalba has been here longer than memory. It will be here long after. All of its time is your time now. Plink. Somewhere far off, another drop falls. Another pool trembles and settles. The ceiling ripples and stills. After a long while, you couldn't say how long, and it doesn't matter. You lift your gaze from the pool. You look out across the cavern again. At the far edge of the obsidian floor, something waits. So distant, it is more suggestion than sight. A doorway, tall and narrow, cut into the living rock. Two carved pillars frame it. You cannot yet read their shapes. A faint warmth of color rests in that doorway. Not the jade-green of the pools, something softer, amber and low, like the memory of firelight. That is the way down. You know this the way you know things in dreams, completely, and without asking. You begin to walk toward it, unhurried. You let your path wander between the glowing pools. Your reflection drifts along beneath you. It moves through the black glass, past the reflected pools. They hang beneath the real ones, like green moons in a dark sky. Green moons in a dark sky, a floor of night scattered with gentle lights. You walk across it slowly. The dripping water keeps its patient time. Nothing in this vast and ancient dark asks anything of you, nothing at all. As you come nearer to the doorway, the carvings on the two pillars grow clear. They are jaguars, two great stone jaguars, seated upright on either side of the door. Taller than you, their forepaws rest one atop the other. Their heads are bowed, they're asleep. The sculptor, whoever they were, carved them sleeping. 1,000 years gone, or more. Their stone eyes are closed, their stone whiskers droop. Their heavy stone shoulders slope with the softness of deep rest. The amber light from the doorway lies along their spotted flanks. Like a blanket, careful hands have laid it there. You stop between them for a moment. You are in the doorway. You look up at their peaceful faces. Even the guardians here are resting. Even the fierce things have laid their fierceness down. Whatever Xibalba may have been, in the old stories, tonight it is only this, a deep house full of sleeping stone, soft light, slow water, keeping itself company in the dark. You reach out, you rest your palm on the cool stone paw. The nearer jaguar, still and quiet. The stone is smooth as river rock. Centuries of other hands have worn it smooth. They paused here, just as you are pausing. The touch is like a greeting, between old friends. Sleep well, you think toward the great carved cat. Sleep well, and then you pass between them. You move through the doorway, into the amber light. Beyond the door, a stairway descends. It is broad and shallow, cut from pale golden limestone. It curves gently downward and to the left. You can never see more than a dozen steps ahead. Along the walls are little clay lamps. They rest in small carved niches at shoulder height. Simple bowls with a curl of wick. Each one burns with a small, steady, honey-colored flame. The flames do not flicker. There is no draft down here to trouble them. They simply burn, round and calm and golden. Each one is an unblinking drop of warm light. They have the quality of flames that have been burning for a very long time. They intend to keep burning for a very long time more. You descend, step by step. Each step is worn into a soft hollow at its center. Ages of footsteps made these hollows. Your bare feet find them naturally. They settle in. It is like walking in the footprints of everyone who came this way. Priests and travelers and dreamers, all of them long at rest now, all of them having passed down these same steps, in the same amber light, breathing this same still air. The air on the stairway carries a new scent, Popol, the sweet resinous smoke of Popol incense, faint and old, soaked into the very stone. It is the smell of 1,000 years of quiet offerings, of small fires tended by patient hands. It smells like ceremony. It smells like reverence. It smells, somehow, like being safe. Step, step, step. The stairway curves and carries you down. You lose count of the steps, and it is a pleasure to lose count. Counting belongs to the world above. Down here, there is only the descent itself, slow and smooth, endless feeling. The golden lamps drift past your shoulder, one by one, each flame a small companion, greeting you and letting you go. Warmer here. The air is warmer than the great obsidian hall above, not hot, only gentled, the way air is gentled, by candles and by thick stone walls. It settles around your shoulders like a light woven cloak. Your thoughts, if you have any left, are becoming very simple. Step, they say, lamp, step, lamp, warm, down, and then, softly, the stairway opens out, and you arrive at the second level of Xibalba. You stand at the top of a short flight of steps. You look out, a chamber of roots. This cavern is smaller than the first. It is long and low, intimate, a hall, not a world, and it is filled everywhere with roots. You know at once which tree. There is only one tree it could be. Somewhere far above you, up through all that stone, stands a great ceiba, the world tree. The ancients said it held up the sky with its branches. They said it reached down into the underworld with its roots. And here are those roots. Here is the underside of everything. You have arrived, at last, in the quiet country beneath the world. The roots come down through the ceiling in vast, smooth columns. They are pale as bone, soft as driftwood in the lamplight. Some of them are thicker than your whole body. They descend in slow curves and gentle spirals. They meet the floor and spread and flatten. They weave together into a surface like a wooden shore. Between the great columns hang curtains of finer roots, delicate as hair. They drift, almost without moving, in air you would have sworn was perfectly still, perfectly still. And the whole chamber is lit from within the roots themselves. A soft golden luminescence runs under their pale skin. It moves in slow pulses. It rises up from the depths of the earth and travels along the roots toward the ceiling, toward the distant tree. It is as though the underworld were feeding light upward, quietly, all night long, to keep the world above alive, quietly, all night long. You watch one pulse of gold travel up a root column, slow as honey. It vanishes into the ceiling, then another, then another. The tree is drinking light in its sleep, and you are standing inside its dream. You descend the last few steps. You walk out onto the woven root floor. It is warm underfoot, warm and very slightly yielding, like the floor of a forest deep in dry leaves. Each step you take is soundless. The roots receive your weight and give it back gently. Walking here feels less like walking, more like being carried, one slow step at a time. The scent of copal is stronger here. It mingles now with the smell of the roots themselves, a clean, sweet smell, like sap, green and gold at once, the smell of patient growing. You breathe it in, slowly. It settles somewhere behind your ribs. It loosens something you did not know was tight. You wander between the root columns. There is no destination. That is the correct way to travel here. The columns rise around you like pillars of a temple, grown, not built. The golden pulses drift up through them on every side. You move through a slow, silent, upward rain of light, quiet, perfectly quiet, here and there, resting in the hollows where great roots meet the floor. You find small offerings, left by hands from long ago, a jade bead, round and green, a little clay whistle, shaped like a bird. Its glaze is worn soft, a folded cloth. Its colors have faded to the gentlest ghosts of red and blue. None of it is sad, all of it is peaceful. Gifts given freely, received graciously, kept safe here in the warm root hollows for centuries, like treasures in the pockets of a sleeping grandfather. You do not touch them, you only look and let them be and walk on. Somewhere in the middle of the chamber, you find a place. The roots have woven themselves into a broad, shallow bowl, a hollow in the floor, wide as a bed, lined with the finest root fibers, soft as a nest. You pause beside it. It was made for resting. You can feel that. Perhaps travelers once rested here. They journeyed long and slow through the deep levels of the house. Perhaps the tree itself shaped it. Trees shape hollows for owls. This came from some vast, quiet kindness. Either way, the invitation is plain. It has been waiting a long time. But you are not ready to stop. Not yet. The journey itself is too sweet. There is more of the deep house to see. Your body, heavy as it is growing, still wants to move. You want the slow pleasure of moving through it, so you rest only your hand on the rim, the root nest rim. You rested your hand on the jaguar's paw, like this. You feel the faint golden pulse. It passes under your palm. It rises from the earth and travels toward the sky. Thank you, you think. Not yet, but thank you. And the light pulses on, unhurried, unoffended. It keeps its own counsel. You turn, you walk deeper into the hall of roots. At the far end, the root columns grow closer together, between two of the largest, each broad as an ancient doorway. The floor slopes gently down. A new sound rises from below. For the first time, you hear it. Water, moving water, not the plink of the dripping pools. This is lower, softer, and continuous. It is the wide, unhurried murmur of a river. The river moves slowly in the dark, one of the most soothing sounds in any world. Above or below, deep water travels with nowhere it needs to be. It whispers along stone banks. It folds over itself in the dark. The sound is like silk, drawn slowly through a careful hand. You follow the sloping floor down. You walk between the great roots. The golden light of the root hall fades gently behind you. A new light rises ahead, dim, drifting, blue-white shimmer, cool and lovely, like moonlight remembered underwater. The passage opens, and you stand on the bank of the river of the underworld. It is beautiful past all telling. The river fills the floor of a long cavern. Its ceiling is lost in soft darkness above. It flows from your left to your right, wide and slow, utterly smooth. The surface seems solid, a moving floor of dark water, polished like obsidian. It carries light along its skin in slow folds, and the light comes from the river itself. Beneath the surface, drifting with the current, are countless small glowing things. They are pale blue-white points, soft as stars behind thin cloud. Some hover near the surface, some drift deep down. The river has depth, the way the night sky has depth. They drift and turn and slowly swirl. They never hurry. Where the current folds over a hidden stone, they gather and brighten just for a moment. Then they spread apart again, like breath-fogging glass, and fading. Stars. The river is full of stars. The ancients said the Underworld river carried the souls of stars through the earth by night. It ferried them from the western horizon to the east, so they could rise again at dawn. Standing here, watching the slow lights ride the dark water, you understand something. The story was not a story, it was a description. It was simply what is here. The murmur of the water wraps around you. The cool blue light lies gently on your skin. On the bank at your feet, fine pale sand glimmers, soft as sifted flour. It holds the shapes of old footprints, rounded by time. All of them lead to the water's edge. And at the water's edge, resting half on the sand and half on the river, is a boat. It's a canoe of pale wood, long and low and graceful. Its prow is carved into a face, a water bird, smooth and closed-eyed. The bird's head is laid back along its own body, asleep, dreaming. Its carved feathers are worn soft, worn by centuries of hands. The canoe is lined with woven mats, enfolded blankets of thick cotton. They've faded to the colors of dusk. It does not rock. It rests on the water calmly, as if the water were holding it. Perhaps it is. There is no paddler. There is no paddle. There does not need to be. The river knows the way. The river has known the way for a very long time, since before the mountains were mountains. Everything that rides this river arrives exactly where it's going, in time, always in time. The invitation could not be gentler or more plain. You step from the soft sand into the canoe. It receives your weight without a tremble. It settles, perhaps a finger's width deeper into the glowing water, steady, steady as a bed built into the earth. You lower yourself onto the woven mats. They're thick and dry. They smell of clean cotton and faint copal. You lean back against the folded blankets. Your body is heavy now, so pleasantly heavy. It settles into them, the way a stone settles into riverbed sand, completely, gratefully, done with all effort. And the canoe, without a sound, drifts free of the bank. It turns slowly into the current. It begins to carry you down the river of stars. Oh, the slowness of it, the perfect, sacred slowness. The canoe moves at the water's pace. The water moves at the earth's patience. That is barely at all. That is forever. The pale sandbank slides away behind you. By inches, the cavern walls drift past like dream walls. Their wet stone glimmers faintly blue, blue in the star water's light. Ahead, the river curves into soft darkness, always curving, always opening a little more of itself, nothing to anticipate, nothing to remember. The journey is one long, slow unfolding. You lie back in the blankets. You watch the lights pass beneath you. Through the water beside the canoe, the stars drift and turn. Some pass directly under the hull. Their glow comes up through the pale wood, faintly. The whole canoe is lit from below, like a paper lantern. Some stars drift alongside for a long while. They keep pace, small blue-white companions swimming at your shoulder through the dark. Then the current draws them gently away. They drift on their own errands, quietly, slowly. Ferried. You are being ferried through the inside of the earth, on a river of sleeping stars, in a boat with a dreaming bird for a prow, wrapped in blankets that smell of cotton and incense. There has never been anywhere safer than this. There has never been anywhere softer. The river murmurs. The stars drift. The canoe carries you on. Time becomes very strange on the river. Then it stops being anything at all. Sometimes the ceiling descends, close above you, a smooth vault of pale stone. It catches the blue light of the water. You drift through a tunnel of soft glow. The reflections ripple across the stone. A hand's reach above your face. Sometimes the ceiling lifts away into vast dark heights. The river widens. The drifting stars spread out across the broad water, like the night sky lying down to rest. Sometimes thin veils of water slide down the cavern walls. Not waterfalls, nothing so loud, only wide sheets of moisture, descending the stone in silence, catching the star glow. The walls themselves seem to shimmer and breathe. Once, the canoe carries you past a colonnade of stone pillars. Rising from the water, columns joined floor to ceiling, fluted and folded like enormous candles of melted wax. The star water laps at their bases with the softest imaginable sound. Lap and hush, lap and hush. The sound follows you down the river, long after the pillars have faded behind you into the blue dark. Your eyes are half closed now. You let them be half closed. Nothing here needs watching. The river will show you what it shows you, whether your eyes are open or not, and what it shows you, either way, is peace. Lap, hush, lap, hush. The murmur of the water below you, the blankets warm around you, the slow lights rising and sinking in the deep. After a long, long drifting, an hour, a night, 100 years, you notice the water changing, all of them the same, all of them gentle. The blue-white stars are still there, still drifting, but among them now are petals, flowers, real flowers, floating on the dark surface, white blossoms and pale yellow ones, the deep soft orange of marigolds. They ride the slow current in loose, meandering trails. Somewhere upstream, in some quiet chamber of the deep house, someone has been scattering flowers for centuries, unhurried, one handful at a time. Their scent reaches you before you wonder at them, sweet and mild and sun-remembering, the smell of gardens, the smell of festivals ended, everyone gone happily home to sleep. The petals gather along the canoe's sides. They travel with you, an escort of blossoms turning slowly on the water, turning among the drifting stars, flowers and stars, together on the dark river. The living world and the sky's world, both of them come down to keep you company on your way. You trail your fingers over the canoe's side, slowly, effortlessly. You let them rest in the water. It is cool and silken and utterly harmless. A white petal drifts against your fingertips. It rests there, weightless, riding along with you. One of the small blue lights passes just beneath your hand. Its glow warms your palm, like a sip of something kind. You draw your hand back into the blankets, damp and cool. You tuck it against you. The canoe drifts on, through the flowers. Ahead, the river is slowing. You feel it before you see it. The current easing, the murmur deepening into something softer. The canoe's glide becomes a glide within a glide. The cavern is opening out again, wider than it has yet been. The darkness ahead is warming, blue-white giving way, by degrees, to a faint gold-green. The water grows so slow, so smooth. The drifting stars beneath the surface seem almost to stop, hanging in the deep like lamps in still air. The river is arriving somewhere, and so are you. The canoe drifts around one last long curve. The flower trails swing wide with it. The third level of Xibalba opens before you. It is a lake, a vast, round, perfectly still lake. It fills the floor of a cavern so large, its far shore is only a soft suggestion of pale sand in the distance. The ceiling above is not lost in darkness, it is glowing. The entire dome of stone overhead is hung with countless threads, living light, glowworm silk, fine as spider strands, each thread strung with tiny beads of green-gold radiance, tens of thousands of them, hanging motionless in the still air, and the lake below reflects every one, flawlessly. You drift out onto its surface, between two skies, a sky of hanging lights above, a sky of hanging lights below, the canoe suspended between them like a thought, between two long, slow breaths. You lie back fully in the blankets now, your head cradled, your face turned upward. You let the canoe carry you out, into the middle of everything. Lights above, lights below, silence, so complete and so kind. It has a texture like the finest cloth laid over the whole world. The canoe barely moves now. Perhaps it has stopped. Perhaps it drifts, a breath's width with each breath. No more than that. It makes no difference. Motion and stillness have become the same thing. Out here, on the mirror lake, under the 10,000 hanging lights, you look up at them, through eyes more closed than open. Each thread of light hangs perfectly straight, perfectly still. Each small bead along it glows with its own quiet patience. Some are brighter, some are fainter, some, as you watch, dim slowly and go dark, resting, and then, after a long while, they ease back into glow again. The whole ceiling breathes this way, in patches and drifts. A slow tide of brightening and dimming rolls gently across the dome. It takes many minutes, never all at once, never abruptly. It is like sleep moving through a great crowd of small dreaming things, and the lake repeats all of it, upside down, without a single flaw. You couldn't say anymore which lights are real, which are reflections. You couldn't say whether you're floating on water, beneath a glowing ceiling, or floating in air, between two glowing deeps. The not knowing is delicious. The not knowing is the whole point. Down here, in the deep house, certainty has been gently set aside, like sandals left beside a door. What remains is only light and stillness, the soft weight of your own body in the blankets, breath in and out. The lights brighten somewhere, the lights dim somewhere, in and out. Somewhere across the water, impossible to say how far, a sound begins. It is so soft, so deep. At first you feel it more than hear it. A slow drum, one beat, then a long stillness, then one beat more. It is the most unhurried drum ever played. Each beat is round and warm and low, like a heartbeat heard through a wall, through a blanket, through the body of someone holding you. It doesn't summon, it doesn't announce, it simply keeps time, the deep house's own time, the time of stone and root and slow water. It has been keeping it since long before you arrived. You are only now quiet enough to hear it. Boom, the lights on the ceiling pulse very faintly with it. The whole dome brightens, a breath's worth, and eases again. Boom, the lake carries the beat through the water, through the hull, through the blankets, into your back, into your shoulders, into your slow, heavy limbs. Boom, it is the heartbeat of the underworld, the drum at the center of the earth, played by no one, for no reason, except that hearts beat, and the earth has one too. Your own heart has been slowing all this while. It slows a little more now, not to match it. Nothing living could beat so slowly, but to keep it company, the way a child's short steps keep company with a grandmother's long ones on an evening road. The canoe drifts, the drum beats, the lights breathe. You are almost asleep now, and you know it. You let yourself hover there, on the warm border of it, because the deep house isn't finished showing you its rooms. Some quiet part of you wants to see one more. Slowly, so slowly, the canoe begins to drift again. The movement is more like a change of mind. It angles gently toward the far shore. The pale sand grows nearer by degrees. You watch it come through half-closed eyes. A long crescent beach glows faintly, green gold, under the hanging lights. Behind it, rising from the sand, shapes begin to resolve. A garden of stone flowers, carved lilies, carved lotus blossoms, carved buds that never opened and never closed. They rest on stems of smooth gray rock. They're planted in the white sand as if they'd grown there. Hundreds of them, some no taller than your hand, some rising higher than a standing person. Their petals spread wide, their surfaces are polished by ages of soft air. They hold the green gold light in gentle pools. No chisel mark remains on them, no maker's name. Whoever shaped them did it long ago. They shaped them for no one, or for everyone, or for exactly this, for a tired traveler drifting past in a canoe full of blankets, half asleep. Watching through lowered lashes, the canoe doesn't land, it only drifts along the shore, slow as honey. The garden slides past you, like a dream deciding to be kind. You look at the stone flowers. The stone flowers ask nothing of you. That is their gift. Real flowers bloom and fade. They must be tended. These simply are. They've been holding their shapes through centuries of quiet, through the slow drum, through the breathing of the lights. They will hold them still while you sleep, while you wake somewhere far away, while you live your whole life above. They'll be here, unhurried, unchanging, keeping their soft stone petals open to the dark. There's a smell along this shore, faint, mineral and clean, like rain on warm rock, like the inside of a shell. You breathe it in and out. The drum beats far away now, muffled by distance and water and sand. Boom, and a long stillness. Boom. Among the stone flowers, small lamps have been set into the sand. Clay lamps, round as cupped palms. Each one holds a single flame, the color of amber. The flames don't flicker. The air down here is too still for that. Each flame stands perfectly upright, perfectly patient. A little seed of warm light planted between the gray petals. Someone tends these lamps. You feel certain of it. In the drowsy way you feel certain of things now, without needing proof. Someone comes on quiet feet, at some hour that has no name. They pour a little oil, they trim a little wick, they go away again. Someone's always done this. It's one of the old kindnesses of the deep house. The lamps are kept, the sand is kept smooth, the blankets in the canoes are kept warm and clean, all of it done out of sight, without asking thanks, so that any weary soul who drifts down here will find the world already gentle, already ready, already soft. You're cared for here. You did nothing to earn it. You don't need to. The canoe drifts on, in and out. Past the garden of stone flowers, the shore curves away, the water opens. A last, smaller chamber waits. It is the innermost room, the room at the bottom of everything. It is round, the ceiling is low and close. The hanging lights here are fewer and dimmer. They are a deeper gold. The whole chamber holds the color of firelight, remembered, not seen. The water is so still, The canoe's small ripples fade. They fade within a hand's breadth of the hull. Beyond them, the surface is a dark mirror, not a single flaw. It holds the dim golden lights above, like coins at the bottom of a well. The drum is very faint now. You have to listen for it. Between your own heartbeats, boom, and a stillness, so long you almost forget you are waiting, boom. The canoe slows and slows, with a touch so soft it could be mistaken for a thought. Its prow comes to rest against a bank of moss, the moss at the chamber's far edge. It stops. You have arrived. Wherever you were going, this is it. The deep house has no rooms below this one. The night has no rooms below this one. The moss bank glows very faintly, green and low, the way embers glow. Not enough to see by, only enough to be seen. It rises in a gentle slope from the water, thick and deep. Where it meets the canoe, it seems almost to lean toward you, the way a bed leans toward a tired body, the way sleep leans toward a closing eye. But you do not need to leave the canoe. The canoe is your bed now. The blankets have warmed to the exact temperature of your skin. You can no longer tell where you end and the warmth begins. The wool is soft against your cheek. The gentle curve of the hull cradles your back, your shoulders, the heavy weight of your legs. You are held. Say it inwardly, if you like, slow as the drum. You are held. The earth itself holds you. Stone below, water below stone, and below the water more stone, all the way down. Layer upon layer of quiet, every layer holding the one above it, all of them together, holding you. Nothing is required of you now, nothing at all, in and out. The lights begin to dim, not suddenly. Nothing here is sudden, but you notice, through eyelids that have mostly closed, that the gold of the ceiling is softening, deepening, the way the west deepens after the sun has gone, amber into copper, copper into a dark warm brown, the color of sleep itself. One by one, without hurry, the hanging lights are going out, not dying, only resting. Even lights must rest, even the small patient lamps among the stone flowers, far behind you now, are lowering their flames. Even the drum, somewhere beyond hearing, is slowing toward its own long stillness. The whole deep house is settling for the night, settling around you, over you, like a vast dark blanket drawn up by careful hands. The reflections in the water dim with the lights. The two skies, the one above and the one below, grow darker together, in perfect agreement, until only a few far embers remain, floating in the black, doubled in the mirror, soft as the last thoughts before sleep. You watch them through the smallest opening of your eyes. One dims, and after a while, another, in and out. Somewhere in the dark, water is still moving. You can hear it if you listen. The faintest silver thread of sound, a trickle over stone, far away and constant. It has been running since before the first lamp was ever lit down here. It will run all night. It will run while you sleep, keeping the silence company, so the silence is never lonely, and neither are you. Drip, and a stillness, drip. The sound does not ask to be followed. It only asks to be near. Let it be near. Let it stand at the edge of your sleep, like a watchman with soft shoes, walking the long halls of the deep house while you rest, checking each door of quiet, finding each one safely shut. All is well in the deep house tonight. All is well. Your breathing has grown very slow now. You did not slow it. It slowed itself, the way water finds its level, the way a leaf finds the ground. Each breath in is smaller than the last, and each breath out is longer, and between them there are little pauses, little restings. In each pause, the dark comes a step closer, kind and warm, wearing the smell of clean stone and old water and wool. Your hands are heavy. Let them be heavy. Your shoulders have sunk into the blanket. Let them sink. Your face has gone soft, the brow smooth, the jaw loose, the small muscles around the eyes unknotting, one by one, like sailors' ropes at the end of a voyage. The boat is home. The ropes can rest. Everything can rest, in and out. Think, if any thinking is left in you, of all the sleepers of the old world, sleeping tonight along with you. The potter, asleep beside her kiln. The kiln has cooled. Her hands still smell of river clay. The shepherd boy on the dark hillside. He has rolled in his cloak. His flock folds around him like a warm grey sea. Every ewe breathes slow. The old scribe, his lamp blown out, his reed pens lie in their box. The day's letters are finished, drying in the dark. The sailors in the harbour rocked in their hulls. The same patient water rocks you now. They hear the same soft lap of small waves against wood. The baker, flour still in the creases of his knuckles. He is asleep before the middle of the night. Bread rises early, so must he. But that is tomorrow's hour. Tomorrow's hour is far away. It is on the other side of a long, deep, dreamless dark. All of them breathing, all of them held, the whole ancient world lying down together under one enormous night, and you among them, one more sleeper in the numberless, gentle company of the sleeping. You are not alone. You are never alone. Sleep is a country everyone enters. Everyone is welcome there. No one is turned away. The last few lights on the ceiling are only embers now, 2 of them, then 1. The single last light hangs above you, small and gold. It is reflected once in the black water, 2 small suns in all that soft dark, one above, one below, holding each other steady across the mirror. You watch it without watching. Your eyes are closed now, or nearly. The light comes through the warm red-brown of your own eyelids, gentle twice over, no brighter than a candle you once loved in a room from long ago. It dims, slowly, slowly. It is not leaving you, it is tucking you in. This is how the deep house says good night, not with darkness falling, but with light lying down, settling into the stone, the way you have settled into the blankets, pulling the black water up over itself like a coverlet, and closing its one gold eye, dimmer now, dimmer, in and out. And now, there is only the dark, but it is not empty. It is full, full of warmth, full of the slow silver trickle of far water, full of the breathing of moss and stone, full of one small canoe and one drowsy traveler inside it. It is the dark of the inside of a seed, the dark of a lamp between lightings, the dark of the space between 2 heartbeats. Nothing is wrong there, nothing is asked, nothing needs to happen at all. The drum has stopped, or grown so slow. Its next beat lies somewhere on the far side of your sleep, waiting patiently, in no hurry to arrive. The water has stilled, perfect glass. The stone flowers stand in their garden, their petals are open. They are keeping the shapes of blossoms through the long, soft night, asking nothing, holding everything. And you are barely here at all now. Mostly warmth, mostly breath, mostly the slow, sweet weight of a body that has finally, completely been allowed to stop. Let go of the day. It is finished. It was enough. Let go of tomorrow. It will come on its own soft feet. It will find you rested. Let go of the deep house, even the lake, the lights, the drum, the garden. They don't need to be remembered. They'll keep themselves. They were only ever a road. The road has done its work. It brought you here to the edge of the oldest country, the quiet country, the country of sleep. The border is open, the dark is warm. You may cross whenever you like. In and out. Slower now. In and out. The water holds the canoe holds you. The night holds everything. Rest now, rest, sleep.